Friday afternoon, I was spending too much of my quickly dwindling savings on a TV, VCR, DVD combo when my father called to tell me she was in the hospital. I caught the red eye from LAX, and by the time I landed in Newark on Saturday, my mother was gone. My last words to her were an unduly harsh critique of a movie neither one of us had seen. Now it was Monday. "Everyone, please," my father said, leaving his place next to us by the dark hole in New Jersey. "One more time, please." Valentina leaned over to me. "Are you going to do something about this?" she asked. Since he quit his corporate lawyer job to pursue, as he put it, communal brotherhood with his fellow man, my father had developed an affinity for church music. Raised with both Hinduism and Sikhism in Bombay, he'd been in the country since the 60s and had a lot of attachments to American culture. Gene Autry movies, the songs of Jackie Wilson, any sitcom set in New York, which reminded him of treasured days living in the city with his friends. These things seemed to be revered on the same level as classic Bollywood films and music. "Jackie Wilson is the bloody greatest," he'd say. "So is Robin Williams." I'd remind him that Robin Williams was sued for stealing the idea for his most popular movie, Immigrant Barber, which also happened to be my father's favorite American film. "Americans will sue over anything," he'd say. "In India, if someone steals your intellectual property, you and he would make a stabbing motion, pantomiming a prison shiv attack. Most people were nervously amused by my father's tall tales of extreme Indian justice, but of course there was nothing amusing about what was happening here. Fewer people were singing. Most were hanging their heads, exhausted. Titi Diana, my mother's sister, looked at her watch and around the cemetery as if she expected that there would be a long line of people waiting to bury their own dead behind us. I saw her mouth the words, "Come on." Even Abuelita, who stopped speaking English the minute she left Brooklyn and moved back to Puerto Rico, could tell something was not right. "We can't just let him humiliate himself out there," Valentina said. "This is what a broken man looks like. Let the people see it, remember it, write poems about it." Valentina looked at me like she wanted to tell me to lighten up, but she couldn't. Not today, when we knew there would never be light again. "Once more, please." My father's sudden sobbing prevented him from getting through the fourth go. It was a little cruel to see, but people were visibly relieved, grateful to be able to stop singing. The casket was in the ground. The dirt was being shoveled on top of it. The priest put his arm around my father. "Okay, let's go," my father said, and trudged towards one of the waiting cars. I didn't move. I couldn't leave my mother. It was only a few months ago that I was preparing for the drive from New York City to Los Angeles. As I got into the car, Mommy seemed sad, and I asked her very clearly, "Are you going to be okay?" She said that she would be. She had a huge gardening project lined up, plus a new multi-volume history of World War II to get through. "Oh, Hector," she said, "I'll be fine." She lied to me. And now I was spraining the muscles in my face with extreme sobbing. The capillaries around my eyes broke, giving me some nasty red spots. My whole body ached. Grief was extremely hard work. I was surprised by how much replenishable pain I seemed to have welled up inside me. It just kept coming, draining me, filling me up, then draining me again. I didn't know what to do with this energy, and I couldn't understand how the world continued to exist. Not only was there no pause in the universe, it also continued to deliver its usual parade of banality. The entire funeral process, the announcement, the arrangements, the burial, the after-party, was one cliché after another. Everyone was properly somber and sad, except a few people who were especially close to the deceased. These people were inconsolable. You could tell who we were because we were just sitting there, staring at the floor, periodically lifting our heads to receive the condolences of well-wishers. "I'm so sorry for your loss." She didn't.